Hi there, my name is Rocky Williams from the UK. I'm a professional MMA athlete. I'm just going to start by saying obviously hello to the coaches at Renegade Mindset and to any other fighter out there that's looking to improve their fight game, mentality. Well, anyway, I had this one fight and it was against a real good opponent. And speaking with him after the fight, it made me realise that listen, I've got to do something about how I'm training. I was going to a cage and I was hating it. I was nervous. I was nervous up until the point when the ref said, "You ready to fight?" I was still nervous at that point. It shouldn't be like that. And it's not until someone gets a lot of losses that they understand how and why they need that mindset to overcome it. And obviously for me, because I've got a lot of losses in my record, 9 losses, that is, for me, it was a lot to overcome. And I suppose if it weren't for me finding Renegade Mindset, it was getting to the point where I was probably looking at maybe giving up. Because 9 losses is a lot to deal with someone's head when they step into that cage. Am I going to lose again? When you have 9 losses, you just remember how you lose. You don't remember how you win. And that's the worst thing ever. And there was a link to Renegade Mindset for fighters, and so I clicked on this and I had a little read, and it's stuff like hypnosis and such. So I was a little bit skeptical about this, but I'd in the past tried visualization. You read people like Randy Couture doing visualization. Visualizing his opponent, what he looks like, how he's going to move, what the cage is like, and all this. But you know what? You got to have a good, vivid imagination to be able to visualize stuff like that, and it just weren't working for me. I wanted something that was going to just give me some, not an instant change, but something that was going to make me realise that, look, you actually love the sport. So investing in Renegade Mindset was probably one of the best things I've ever done. Obviously, when I received the package, it tells you about the NLP, hypnosis, tapping techniques and all this. I was like, what the hell? You know what I mean? I was, like I said, I was skeptical about it. But anyway, I started with this new team, and literally, my mindset was in such a bad place that when I turn up for sparring, I would be shitting myself in the car park, not wanting to go in, trying to find excuses not to go in. But after reading a bit about the tapping techniques from Renegade guys, you tap in certain areas of your body, and that it's like acupuncture, but using your fingertips, getting your breathing under control. And my anxiety was quite bad, so I thought, right, you know what, I'm just going to try this stuff. So I was in the car, waiting to go in. I was trying it. I instantly felt my breathing coming down to a natural rhythm. I was calming down, because before I'm assuming it was like fight or flight scenario in my body, to the point where I wanted to poo myself. But doing this tapping techniques would get me under control, and I'd be saying so, be calm and confident, whatever, breathing, tapping, and I'd go in there. Then I used to do my tapping technique, and then that'd get my breathing under control, and that would make me see things a lot more clearer when I was sparring or doing the drills. So having this working for me made me realise that maybe this stuff from Renegade coaches is going to work. So I downloaded all the tracks onto my iPod, and it's hard for me to get a point in the day where I can just sit aside and listen to this, because I've got 4 children. I'm full-time work as well as training, so most of the time I just put it on when I was in bed. Listen, I can't tell you exactly what goes on, because before the end of the track, it would start off talking, and then I'd be in a trance or hypnotic state, and then I'd wake up like wide awake, not like when you wake up when you've been asleep and someone wakes you up, but wake up like under hypnosis basically. So I kind of knew it had that feeling on me, that effect on me, and then I started to feel more confident with myself, and people would be asking me questions about my fights and losses, and that it wouldn't faze me, just purely because I felt more confident listening through these tracks. And you know, it's something I want to do. And the more I was listening to these tracks and started listening to other hypnotic tracks like Speed Demon, which is one of my favourites. It's, you know, talks about time distortion. I know it sounds messed up, but when I spine out, it's like I can see things. It's like I'm a Matrix, so I can see things coming. I can see spaces, gaps. And I remember I used to be so worried about, what do I do if someone throws this punch? How do I block it? How do I move? How do I counter? And you know what? I don't think about that no more. I just go in there, I fight free, I let my legs go, I let my hands go, my movement's good, and from that I have this confidence that just, it feels like it oozes out of me, and I don't know if the guys I spar can see that, which makes them a bit more tentative. I'm sure it does, but you know, when I do pad work now, things are coming out sharp, they're coming out fast, and it's literally like I can see things coming. You know, and from that one track, listen to another track. You know, we've got mind, power, body, or mind, body, power, that way around. So the Renegade guys are top coaches, and they're part of what I call my team. And these guys are so good. They give that personal quality. It's not like you invest in their program and they take your money. They've got a long-term investment in you, and that's what makes you feel confident in not only listening to their stuff and having faith in their stuff, but it makes you feel like you're part of a team on a bigger scale. You know, I feel like I've already got an advantage just by, you know, being at one with my mindset, you know. And the guys at Renegade are so good. I had an idea for. They asked me if I had any ideas for hypnosis tracks, and I give my ideas, and they kindly come up with a track for me. And again, that just makes me feel like special, like I'm part of their team and they're part of my team, and it's just awesome. But it's like when it comes to that point in the fight where I get to the cage, it's like a trigger. Like if I listen to one of the tracks and it's making me go in there and do this thing where I run around, I stamp the ground, my eyes are like pumped like this, you know, I flip in and I see my opponent and I'm done. Whereas before, when I was losing, I could see everything and it was frightening me. I could see the people looking at me, I could hear what they were saying, they were like, you know, whatever. I could see my opponent staring through me, trying to break at me, and I could see it all. But now when I go now, I see things differently. That's when fighters say, you know, that, oh, this is my house, that's exactly what it is. And you have to believe that. And when I go in that cage, that is my cage. I own that cage. And I run around like I'm pissing up every part of that cage wall, like I'm urinating, I'm marking my territory when I go in that cage. That cage is mine. But for me, listen to the tracks, it's doing something for my confidence when I'm sparring, when I'm fighting, when I'm training, and I just feel like I could overcome anything. I don't think at the moment that anything could break my willpower. And it's a massive thanks to Bill and Stephen at Renegade Mindset for helping me further my career through the confidence of the mindset. And you know, listen, before you get in there and you're saying, oh, I don't need that mindset crap, listen mate, get it in your head before you start losing. Because if you haven't got what I believe, you know, man, 9 losses is a lot for someone to take to deal with in the mind. It's a lot, but it's just something I had to stick with it. But it's the Renegade guys that have kept me there, yeah, kept me going, got me the 2 wins this year, that will be getting me the next win this year in October. So anyway, I mean, all I can do is say thanks to, you know, Renegade guys. Hopefully they'll get my new track that I've had an idea for and get it out to me before October the 8th. That'd be great. But it's a pleasure just working with their stuff, and their support is phenomenal. Every email is sent back personally, and that just makes me feel important, and that makes me just want to crack on and get on with MMA. I love the sport now. I love getting there and fighting. I love the 12 weeks of prep. I love listening to the hypnosis tracks every night. You know, I'm in a good place at the moment, and hopefully you'll take this advice and improve your MMA game by hooking up with your boys at Renegade and improving your mindset. Okay, over and out. Take it easy. Bye bye.